It was a cold, rainy night, and the streets were empty as I walked home from work. I had just moved into a new neighborhood, so I was just getting used to the unfamiliar surroundings. The houses were old, and the streetlights cast eerie shadows on the pavement. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. As I approached my house, I noticed the door was slightly ajar. My heart started to race as I thought of all the possible reasons why it might be open. I hesitated for a moment, deciding whether or not to go in. Eventually, I mustered up the courage and stepped inside, locking the door behind me. The house was eerily quiet, and I could hear the sounds of my own breathing. I flicked on the light switch, but nothing happened. The power must have gone out. I fumbled for my phone and turned on the flashlight, my shaky hand casting an unsteady beam of light across the room. I called out, "Hello," but there was no response. I proceeded cautiously, making my way through the dark house. The floorboards creaked under my feet, and I could feel the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I decided to check the basement first, thinking that maybe a fuse had blown. As I descended the stairs, the air grew colder and damp, and the smell of mold and mildew filled my nostrils. When I reached the bottom, I noticed a single dim light bulb dangling from the ceiling. Its faint glow revealed a large, padlocked door in the far corner of the room. Curiosity piqued, I approached it and tried to peer through the small gap between the door and the frame. All I could see was darkness. As I turned to leave, I heard a faint scratching sound come from behind the door. My heart skipped a beat, and I froze in place. The sound grew louder and more frantic, and I suddenly felt like I wasn't alone. I could hear raspy breathing and the sound of chains dragging across the floor. Panic set in, and I scrambled back up the stairs as quickly as I could. Once I reached the top, I slammed the basement door shut and barricaded it with a nearby chair. I ran to my bedroom, locked the door, and hid under the covers, my heart pounding in my chest. I don't know how long I stayed there, trying to convince myself that it was all just my imagination. Eventually, I decided to call the police. When they arrived, they searched the house and discovered that the padlocked door in the basement led to a hidden room. Inside, they found a collection of disturbing items: a rusty cage, a filthy mattress, and chains bolted to the wall. It appears that someone had been living there, perhaps for years. As the police continued their investigation, they discovered that the previous homeowner had gone missing several years earlier. They suspected that he had been the one locked in the hidden room, but they were unable to find any trace of him. The case remains unsolved to this day. I moved out of the house as quickly as I could, but the experience still haunts me. I'll never forget the chilling feeling of being watched, or the sound of the desperate scratching behind the padlocked door. But that's not all. There's more darkness lurking in the shadows. Click here to explore other terrifying stories that will chill you to the bone.